All righty, folks. Welcome back to another live episode of the Raul Reyes Show. True to our word, we wanted to come on here and just simply give you an update and see what's happening across the state of Texas. We've got a few folks on the earplugs here feeding us information. So if I stop and pause, it's just because we're getting live updates. But one of the critical races that we're watching, and part of why I wanted to be on here tonight was to watch some of these squirrely things that potentially happen out here. Let me show you real quick. Let me do an update here. Make sure we've got the right race here. That's the West Verdell one. We're watching West Verdell with Hatch Smith. Looks like West in the early voting has taken the lead. I'll try to get you an update on that here in a little bit. I'm watching the screen over here. The race we're watching really closely is the CD23 race. And for anybody who's checking this out, let me show you this. You can go up there and look for it yourself as well. This is the El Paso Times. They seem to be doing a pretty good job of updating pretty quick. But as you can see, Tony Gonzalez in the early voting and with some of the precincts already reporting from Bexar County are at 49.1%. Brandon Herrera is in a close, somewhat close second with 43.22, 3,000 to Julie Clark. Frank Lopez has got 2,200 votes in there. And of course, Victor Avila, who came down from Dallas to run in this district, is at 1,267. Here's what's happening here. This is sort of the playbook tactic. If you've ever run these campaigns, what you've learned is that the way you take out an incumbent is you've got to get him underneath 50%. Right now, looking like Brandon Herrera. Not saying that that's what it is. This is still too early to say that. But the fact that Bexar County has come in already with 49.1%. Showing across the board. And let me show you some of these. I'll tell you here. So this is the live map we're watching. You can also go to KSAT 12. I'll bring that one up here in a minute if I can as well. But Bexar County, let me scoot this up a little bit. Bexar County has got Tony Gonzalez at 78.28 total votes with 50.1%. Let me tell you what we're seeing in Bexar County right now. They're showing only 80% of the early vote. And I have to tell you, I don't like that because usually what they're doing is they reserve sort of this fudge factor. And so we're watching the Bexar County early results really close with Jackie Callahan down there, the elections administrator. Just everybody let her know we're watching, release all the votes and make sure that we understand where Tony Gonzalez is on the early voting. We are going to the SOS to just make sure of that. But if I had one place that we're looking at right now, and one more time, is in Bexar County, because they're showing 80% of the early vote is what I can tell from right now. Remember, the polls closed at 7. There's probably some people still in line. But the first numbers that come out is the total early voting that happened in the last 2 weeks. They've counted those. They put them out. They start to throw these up on these website here. But let me kind of run you through the map here. El Paso showed up. Gonzalez was at 44%. Brandon Herrera at 28%. So this is not a small county, but it's not a big county because it's mostly a Democrat county. So you see the total numbers on the early voting are looking not big relative to Bexar County. If we move over here to some of these other, like Brewster County, Gonzalez did not do as well as he thought he was going to do out there. He's at 36%. Brandon coming in at 27%. And then, of course, if we move up to Jeff Davis, it's a little more liberal up there. And so Tony's got it at 54% right now. Let's move up to Crane County, 44% for Gonzalez. So if you're seeing anything for 50% and less, that's key to making sure that there's a runoff and the number 2 guy or gal will go in and try to take out Tony. And usually it does happen. But all that said, we're not there yet. And again, the key thing to remember about all these states, right, all these counties is 28 counties make up about 50% of this big county here, Bexar County. So if you look at the total here, this has got to update. Let me see if I can refresh it here real quick and see if we can get a live update. Nope, still got the same here. So I'm going to unshare this and go to a different one real quick. This is, we're looking, and I know some of you are going to be surprised, but this is the New York Times as we watch. This is the total percentage right now. Let me bring this up. So right now, if you're looking at the totality of what's out there, you're going to see that Gonzalez is right now at 49.1%. So right now, if they were to stop counting, and I don't, they can't. They still got a lot of votes to count. You're going to be seeing a runoff right now. Now, key to all this, which really leads me to believe it's going to be really close, is that Bear County, if you can see this, let me see if I can bring it up here. Bear County has got him at 50%, and it's actually something like 49.9 or something like that. My concern with that is that this is where the shenanigans happen, because if Tony's right at 49.999%, they're going to find some ballots to get this guy over the top with a 50.0001 margin. And so, again, if you're going to watch anything in CD23, it's going to be right down here to Bear County, where right now they're saying they're only showing 80% of what looks like is the early voting. They should be at 100% already. This is what happened to us 4 years ago. They kept reporting 95%, 95%, and then at the middle of the night, somehow we lost our election by 7 votes. We're not there now. I'm just kind of giving you a recurrence of what typically happens in these big districts. So keep an eye out on Bear County. If you want to look at what's going on here, El Paso, Zavala County, all these that you see on the left that look kind of pink, they're actually red, but they're showing up a little pink. These are counties that are already reporting. Some key ones that have not, if you look down here, I'm not seeing anything from Valverde. Again, Frank Lopez from Del Rio, Texas is looking to be strong there, but we've had a lot of candidates run down there as well. And of course, we got some squirrely people that will vote for Tony regardless. So all that said, right now, Gonzalez, this is the Democrat side. If you're interested, right now it looks like Santos Limon is going to win on the Democrat side. And of course, they don't have anywhere near as many votes right now, and they're showing it's not there either. But looking back at CD23, 49.1, we started off at something like 49.8, and Tony Gonzalez has been dropping every time the count comes in, ever so slowly, but it's right now. Let me tell you something, being from an analyst perspective, Tony's got to be at 48.9 so that Bear County can't go in there and find a bunch of votes in the middle of the night tonight and say that they got him at 50.1%, because there is right now it looking like a runoff right now. It really is. So for anybody else to tell you that, or tonight, late at night, when they say that Tony Gonzalez barely nudged it out, then you know what happened in Bexar County. Jackie Callahan is the elections administrator down there. So we need to be keeping an eye on that and those folks down there. Again, a lot of poll watchers, a lot of good people that are actually volunteering for these things. We're not throwing or castigating any of them. What I'm saying is that this is where you lose the leads, and all of a sudden you're not at 49.9%, you're at 50.1, and Tony goes on to be the nominee for CD23. Guys, any updates on the backside? Okay, I'm looking for updates just in case anybody's got anything up. I've unmuted the crowd here because they're in the background. And looking at the New York Times, which I know sounds a little squirrely, guys. They're looking at a KSAT 12. It's got a pretty good update. El Paso Times, if you want to. Linda Rushki, the technician, will put those in the comments section here. If you just want to go hit those, it should take you to these things that we're looking at. If you don't have time to just watch us here all night. But again, right now, if you're catching on, 49.1% is where we're at with Tony Gonzalez. And so, and he's dropping ever so slowly. Now, remember, and I'm going to show you these here. You see these counties right here? There's 29 counties here that have to report, and they're not reporting yet. And so the bulk of the 28 counties that sit outside of Bexar County are pretty conservative. This is typical of America. Austin's very liberal. Everything around it is very conservative. Same thing with Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. Bexar County, San Antonio is no different. All 28 counties, there's 29 in CD23, run pretty conservative with the exception of maybe Culberson and down there in Frio, La Salle, which is really close to San Antonio. That said, if they preponderantly come in, I don't know if that's the right word, but if the preponderance of the vote stays at 45% or below in all those counties, it's pretty much going to be a runoff unless that 80% that they're holding on to with Bexar County is just sort of to nudge Tony Gonzalez over. Don't put it past them, folks. This is where it happens. Another one we're not seeing here, and I'm a little concerned, is Medina County. Let me talk to the background noise back here. Hey guys, anybody seeing anything on Medina County yet either? Nada. Okay, I'm hearing nothing. So this is another one right here. Medina County, no reason why the early votes shouldn't be out already. So we'll try to make some phone calls. We're from here to see maybe there's a Facebook page or something we can catch an update. But these are generally pretty fast. So again, right now, this is kind of what we're looking at here. Let me give you see if I got the West Verdell. Where are you, Wes? I had him here earlier. West Verdell earlier was kicking some butt, and but also those counties are not reporting as fast as we need them to. All that said, hang in here for or keep an eye out on our Facebook pages, and we're also on Twitter. We're also on YouTube. Guys, it's going to be a kind of a long night because I'm getting the inkling that Bexar County is watching that 49.1% for Gonzalez. Right now, he's sitting a solid 49%. There would be a runoff right now if indeed we were calling the race right now. But with all that said, come back to us here in about 20 minutes. We'll do another update. God bless you. Hang on. Just keep checking us, and we'll be live most of the night trying to figure out what's happening here. Everybody have a next 20 minutes break, and we'll see you in about 20.